This is probably the most requested video that I've gotten over the last 2 years, having been on YouTube, that I have not filmed yet. And so in today's video, I'm finally gonna break down, and I'm gonna share with you how I invest my personal portfolio, and I hope it's helpful for you. Okay, and the first one is, I am a believer in what I say on my channel. So I use a fiduciary financial advisor to actually execute and do all these things that I'm going to share with you. So that's the first thing that I wanted to share. The second one is you're going to be surprised. I'm more conservative than most people would think. And the reason for that is I believe you only have to win once. And I have enough money for my wife and I to have a comfortable retirement to do the things that we want to do, and that's really important to me. So one of my mandates is never risk something that's important, a comfortable retirement, to gain something that's not important, which is more, you know? So I'm much more conservative. I play defense a lot more than I play offense with my portfolio. Number 3 is I realize that my 2 biggest enemies is number 1 is inflation, right? Over time, having enough to retire today is different than having enough to retire 20, 30, 40 years from now. And I realize that inflation is my biggest enemy. So even though I don't like the ups and downs that are inherent in the stock market, I need some growth stock exposure so that I can beat inflation over time. At least meet inflation, but my goal is to beat it by a little bit so that the amount of money that I'm spending today, I'll be able to spend that same amount, the purchasing power, in 20, 30, 40 years. And that can change. I mean, in 40 years, it's probably going to be 5 times as expensive as what things are now. So I do have a fair amount of stock exposure, but again, I'm more conservative than most people would think. Okay, number 2, I don't want to put myself in a situation when where I'm a forced seller in a down market. And by that, I mean, I have, enough bonds, and cash in my portfolio that for my wife and I, we can go several years without needing to touch the money that we have invested in stocks. Now, why several years? That seems like a long time. And the reason is because sometimes when the stock market goes down, it doesn't do what happened during COVID, right? Where it was down, what, 30% in 4 weeks and then bounce back up and finish the year positive. There are times where it takes several years for the market to come back up. Sorry, it's raining out here. I'm going to wrap up this video in a little bit. Um, so I don't wanna be a forced seller. The other thing that could make me a forced seller in a down market is if I had too much stock exposure. And if the market was down 30, 40, 50%, which has happened in the past, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not saying that this could happen in the future, but I know how painful that can be, and I don't want if that happens, for my level of concern to go from, "Gee, I don't like this kinda sucks," to, "I can't sleep at night. This is angst. I have to get the pain to stop." So that's one of the things. Number 4, as I look at my portfolio and how I have it structured, is I have to be honest with myself about 2 expenses that even myself, having been a financial advisor for over 20 years, now retired, I have to be honest with myself. I'm likely underestimating how much these 2 costs are gonna be. The first one is taxes, and the second one is healthcare insurance, even with Medicare. Now, I'm not 65 yet, I'm not on Medicare, but when I am on Medicare, I have to choose wisely. It's super important, and the plans are complex, and they change every year, um, and it's really important that every year we relook at our Medicare, plan, and that's why I'm proud to partner with today's video sponsor. It's Chapter. Chapter's a Medicare advisor that's free for you and I to use, and importantly, they're a Medicare advisor that I trust. Now, why do I trust them? I trust them because I've gotten comments from viewers like you that have used them, have called them and said, "Hey, Azul, I really like them." In one case, somebody said, They were expecting Chapter to push a Medicare Advantage plan. They said they didn't. They said that traditional Medicare plus a supplement was the right choice for them. So I like that. And then also I like um, that they save their average client $1,100 a year. It's really starting to come down here. Uh, so I like that as well. And then finally, I like that if you're on the right plan, they're gonna tell you that. So both when you first qualify for Medicare, but later, think about giving Chapter a call. Okay, let's keep going. The next one is I am optimizing on life, not my bank account. And apparently I'm not optimizing on staying dry, but I'm gonna finish this, people. Uh, and what I mean by that is it's much more important to me that I have sleep at night factor, that I can enjoy the time that I have rather than optimizing my portfolio. Okay, let's keep going. My screen is doing crazy things here. Okay, the next one here, the next one here is optimizing on a good night's sleep. We talked about that. And I I want downturns in the stock market. I want downturns in the weather to feel like opportunities for me, not something that I fear. And that's why I like to keep a little bit of cash in my portfolio, not a whole lot, but some. So when the stock market is down, I can view it as a buying opportunity. And if all of our money is tied up in the stock market, frankly, we won't be able to do that. And so that's important to me. I also want to have dividend stocks in my portfolio. Frankly, that's an important piece of it. I like the idea that high quality dividend stocks over time historically have raised their dividends at a rate faster than inflation. I like that because it allows me to maintain my purchasing power. I think that's important. We talked about that earlier. Also, for stability in my portfolio, I used high quality, short duration bonds. And and I'm not looking to optimize the income off of my bonds. I'm looking for stability for those bonds. And I want them to be worth what I think they're going to be worth when I want to use it. And then finally, I have a written plan and I update that written plan once a year. I'm not updating it every month. I'm not tweaking it with 100 different scenarios. It's good to be able to run scenario, but having a written plan is really important. As I said, I encourage you to use a fiduciary financial advisor to come up with a written plan. If you want to do it on your own, there's great software available. The software that I like is called Bolden. They used to be called New Retirement. You can sign up for them on the link that that's showing up on screen now. But having a financial plan gives you the freedom to actually spend the money that you've worked so hard to save, and also lets you know you're not putting your future financial security at risk. And my goodness, did it rain. So if you've made it this far, give me a thumbs up, give me a like in the video. And also think about subscribing to my newsletter. I drop gems like this all the time in my newsletter. And then finally, if you like this video, think about watching this video up here, which talks about what's the right age for you to think about retiring and why maybe waiting to age 65 might be a big mistake. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully I'll be drier in the next one. Bye-bye.